Hello, it's me, Jess, and I'm here recording how to do this look right here, which is just a sparkly snowflake. I just finished sizes 0 and 1 on the right hand side. I'm doing a 20-piece set, so I'm taking the largest 3, which are the most regular thumb sizes, and this is the design I'm putting on. I put down a base of Something Dipherent SkyRider. It's a blue glow. It's pretty. With some Mia Secret Cover Rose to achieve this ombre look. And then I've just got this Saviland gel paint, a gel liner brush, and a very small little dotting tool. Let's get started. So the very first thing I do is put on 6 dots in a circle as evenly as I possibly can. I am trying to mirror, this is the left hand side thumb, I'm trying to mirror this angle and have my snowflake somewhat off center but towards the other side of the nail because it's the other hand. So when you're wearing it, your snowflake will be around here versus over here, so that when you're nail-feeing and stuff and taking pictures like this, you know, the side of your thumb is decorated and you can see it. So that's why I'm picking the orientation the way that I'm putting it. Alright, so the first dot's the hardest. Well, so I'm just gonna put the dot there. I'm going to come across as wide as I want to go. And then here, and here, and here, and here. You just kind of want to go across from each other on each one. Sometimes, I'm kind of confident now. This is my 6th one. This is the last one I'm doing. At first, I was doing much smaller dots and then coming back and evening them out with another drop because I was having a really hard time with my placement, but I think I finally got it. Yay, 6 times a charm. Alright, so I just wipe off my dotting tool a little bit there because I don't want to leave it a mess. Just in case it falls down, I don't want to make a smudge. Alright, and then I get my liner brush. Get my little gel pot and move it out the way some. Make sure I'm focused. I don't know. It doesn't like to focus. See if I touch right there, it'll focus. There. Okay. Sorry. Wobbly wobbles. Let me get that lined up. Alright, so, because this is important. Alright. So what you want to do is you want to go for this dot and you want to kind of line the liner brush up with the dot that's immediately across from it. You do want a little bit of paint on your brush, but not enough that it's lumpy or bumpy. And you just want to kind of sweep this dot towards that dot. Gently, with just the very tip of the brush. The less pressure you apply this way, the thinner your brush will be. The more you push down and the more flexed your brush is, the thicker the line will be. So if you're sweeping at an upward angle with the tip, then you're touching with just the tip and then you're getting a thin line. So if I were to, I'm swiping the nail at this angle instead of laying it down and swiping this way, it's coming out thinner. And sweep towards the other dot to make sure it lines up and looks symmetrical, even if it's not that symmetrical. If you do your lines right, then it'll look like your dots are even. It's very obvious that this one's further out than that one, but keeping my line straight, it optical illusions it into looking nice and even. And it's the overall aesthetic that really matters. Alright, so now I want to continue these lines out further. So I'm going to make sure the point of my brush is lined up with that angle before I even start to drag through the dot. So I'm putting the point of my brush and I'm lining it up with this before I bring it down, and as I bring it down, I'm sweeping it so that I sweep through the dot in the same line that my first line is on, so that my petals, or not my petals, but my snowflake fronds, I'm gonna call them. It's not a plant, but it does kind of grow. It's kind of weird. And if you've ever actually watched some of those science videos of ice crystals forming, it's really neat. It's somewhat similar to the way that crystals form, like out of salt or any other mineral solution, how they like start off and cling and it kind of just grows outwards. It's really neat. So we've continued those lines out. That's part of it. Now the next part is just freehanding some lines in between. For this part, you want to lay your brush down kind of in between the two dots and then pull out till it's thin. And then I turn it around and I pull from there towards the center to get that nice thinness. Instead of just starting all the way in the middle, start kind of on the outside, or start really kind of in the middle of your line, and then pull the tip out of it. So if I tried to start my line all the way down in here, I'd end up with a blob here, and then it might touch the other lines, and then trying to get it to go away would be hard, because I'm not curing any of this until I'm finished, because I'm doing a pour over. Now if I wanted to, I could pour my stuff over right now, cure it, and then continue working. And that's always something you can do. Like if you got your dots right and you pulled all your first lines and you liked them and you liked the way they were and you were afraid you were going to mess something up, then you could by all means go ahead and sugar it, cure it, and dust it off, and then go on and do this next part and just continue. Oops, I did not need to pick up paint there, and I did. Oh well. So she's a little thick. She's thick. She had her cake and her ice cream. See? And then there I went. I messed it up. I messed. But I'm going to try to fix it with my little fixing technique. No, not that one. This one. Okay. So I'm going to dip that in some alcohols. I'm going to dab it on something so that it's not drenched. I'm going to dab it again because it looked a little wet. And then I'm going to just swipe that. And I'm going to do it one more time because it looks like there's a little bit of murkiness there. Where? Oh, right there. Okay. Where? Right there. Alright, well, that's clean up. Continue with our lines. We're almost done. I've got 1, 2, 3. Let's see, I'm going to pull this one. If you think too hard about it, it just gets messy. At least that's what I've learned after today's journey of failures and then triumph. It took me forever. Like I sketched out, oh, this is what I'm going to do, and I didn't like it. Every time I tried it on the nail, it was like, no. And I sketched out a different one, tried that one, and I didn't like it either. And then I got real frustrated and I just couldn't. And I finally came up with this one, and I didn't sketch it. I just sat here and started playing until I got it right. And I wiped off and I wiped off and I wiped off and I wiped off so many times till I finally was happy. And I'm about to wipe off some more because that's just what I do. This line right here is just too thick for me. I like thick girls, but not on this snowflake, I don't. Alright, bristly brush. Okay. Clean. Now, that's that one I put a little too much on. And then I tried to pull it thinner and it just was thick all the way down. Whoops. Okay, and we try to fix that a little bit more. Okay, can't do too much messing, because when you start messing, that's when it gets gray. What are we at? 10 whole minutes to do this now? Well, earlier it took me like 20, so. Alright, now we're just going to put lines on. We're doing little V's, happy V's, or like simple bird shapes if you're like birds on the horizon when you're in kindergarten almost, except for they're not swerved, they just go straight up. Easy peasy. Go on all 6 and I start like right at where that dot is on the other line. It got a little messy, but that's okay, because guess what? Nothing in nature is completely 100% symmetrical or perfect all the time. Things happen. No two snowflakes are alike. Just similar. I'm doing 2 sets of V's on each straight one. With no rhyme or reason, obviously. So OCD in some ways, but also not in others. Okay, and then we take our dotting tool and mark in. And I just want to dot at the ends of this one for a little extra sparkle and razzle dazzle. Yes! And that is it. Then we take our, I'm doing CNDesigner Dips White Diamonds. And I got just my little recycling tray out of my little recycling system. Don't need the whole thing, the tray is fine. And I'm just going to sprinkle this over. Make sure I cover it. And then, just for good measure, just to make sure I got some glitters actually in such fine little lines, gently dabbing. I don't want to dab so hard that I smush my gel or move around any of that design. I just want to make sure that little bits of glitter and stuff get stuck in there nicely, because it is very thick. It's not a very liquidy gel paint at all, which I love, because you can do sweaters with it in 3D and stuff like that really easy. If you don't know, the Saviland paints, they got retarded names. Okay, witness, silly name. But it's actually a pretty decent product. I'm not mad at it at all, especially not for the price point. I feel like I spent like $24 on a 24-piece set. So like that's $1 a piece. I'm really not mad. I got white, I got black, I got silver and gold, and those were the most important ones. And then, I mean, on top of that, she got mad other colors. There's a pretty sparkly purple, there's a sparkly almost lavender, there's a bright red, a dark red, and a shimmery red. So like, I mean, you really can't beat it. Alrighty, so I do have some alcohol. This is my tip and trick here. Take one of these $2 Walmart candles and empty it out when it's done. Use it for your lint-free wipes, and then use the lid upside down, because with this piece you have to fight to get it off all the time. But if you use it upside down, it on and off is really easy, but it keeps the dust out, so you can easily get a wipe and put it back on. And then when you're working with gel or anything like that, and you know you're going to be, like, I have my little wipe off solution in my pump bottle that I mix up. But then sometimes I just want straight rubbing alcohol, and it's in a big old giant bottle. So instead of buying a bottle for it, I just fill the lid up, and then it's right there. And I can just get my wipes and just dunk them in there, or dunk my brushes for cleaning or whatever right in it, and it's good to go. So that's my little trick there. And then here's the nail finished, and we'll dust it off. And that's all of them. Ta-da! Well, not all of them. And here's the left. That's how we do a snowflake. Thanks for joining me. If you guys want to see anything else, just let me know and I'll try to do it. Thanks so much for watching, and y'all have a nice day. Bye.